Let me ask you a question. Do you have enough cash on hand right now to deal with any emergencies that might happen? Well, according to some research, one third of Americans don't even have $1,000 saved up in case of any emergency, and more than 50% of the people don't even have $5,000 saved up for any emergency. We have come down to such a position not because of taking bad financial decisions, but failing to start taking good financial decisions. So in this video, I will be telling you about the 6 places your money needs to go as soon as you get paid. Hey guys, this is Taresh and this channel is all about personal finance, entrepreneurship, investing and helping you achieve your financial freedom. Now, what are the reasons that a majority of us have come down to such a low position that we are financially hollow? Many people are in such a deep hole that they don't even realize that until and unless something unexpected happens, or until and unless they are too old to physically do the work and their constant stream of income stops, and then they realize that, oh, I was just living paycheck to paycheck without any care for the future, without any planning, and failing to implement good financial habits from your early ages, from when you start earning. This is why it has led to a point where now you are in a very, very deep hole. You are financially hollow. And if you don't know how to get out of it or what should you do, in this video, I am going to show you 6 steps, 6 things where your money needs to go once you are paid. And if you start implementing this right now, slowly and steadily over the course of time, over the next few years, your financial condition will be much, much better than it is today. The first thing that you need to do is, before you even see your paycheck, before you even see the money, have some agreements with your employer to save 5 to 10% of your income in your retirement fund. Now, a majority of you don't give importance to your retirement fund and keep putting it off because your retirement fund is not supposed to help you in the next 5 years or even in the next 10 years. Your retirement fund is supposed to help you in your next 30 years or 40 years. Or let's say if you're 20 right now and you plan on retiring as a normal human being, as an average person, maybe in your 60s. So when you start building your retirement fund from your 20s, you will realize that money after 40 years. And this is a reason why a majority of you just keep putting it off, just keep delaying it, and eventually the time comes when you need that fund and you don't have anything saved up. So don't just think of it as your retirement fund that, oh, I won't be able to see this money for the next 40 years or 30 years or whatever. Consider this as when I'm not able to work fund. Consider this as I don't have to ask money from my kids or grandkids fund. Think of it like that. When you are not able to physically work, maybe in your 60s or 50s or whatever, this is the fund that will help you, and this is the fund that will make you financially independent, and you don't have to take money from any of your family members or kids or grandkids or whatever. So there are different kinds of schemes and plans in various countries that you can set with your employer. Like you can set up a 401k in America with your employer so that 5 to 10% of your money can directly go to your retirement fund each and every month. The second thing that you need to do is, as soon as the money hits your checking account, you need to grab the bull by the horns. You need to take control of your money and you need to departmentalize it. You need to segregate it into different needs, into different accounts. You can create different accounts for different purposes. I will talk about that in the later part of this video, what you need to do, which accounts, all of those things. But you need to keep a track of your income. You need to budget your income. So as soon as it hits your checking account, just split it into different accounts. The first account that you need to create, or the third point for this video, will be creating a necessities account. In that account, you need to save up at least 4 to 8 months of your living expenses. If you are living alone, obviously your expenses will be according to that. If you have a family, your expenses will be according to that. So whatever is your bare minimum expense to live your life, you need to calculate that and you need to keep aside at least 4 to 8 months of your living expenses. Now, what comes under your living expenses? only the bare minimum things: shelter, food, clothing, transportation, insurance, utilities, the bare minimum things that are required for your living expense of your whole family for 1 month, and just multiply that by either 4 or 8 or 12 or however much you want to save, but you at least need to have 4 to 8 months of your living expenses saved up in case of any emergency, in case you get laid off. And I can't give you a better example than the pandemic you are dealing with for the past 1 year. A lot of my good friends lost their jobs. A lot of you also might have lost your jobs. So that is the time when you would have realized the importance of having your monthly expenses, at least some of it, saved up, so that until you find your next job, you can just provide for your family. The fourth point is that you need to have an emergency fund. And this fund will be a small fund of, let's say, $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000, just in case there is any emergency. It can be in cash, but I won't recommend keeping $2,000, $3,000 or $4,000 in cash. And you need to have these two accounts set up. That is the necessity account and the emergency account, even if you have debt. Because let's say you have debt right now and you think that, okay, let me pay the debt, I won't keep an emergency fund or a necessity fund. Let's say something unexpected happens, you get laid off from your work or there is an emergency. Now what would you do? You won't have any money in hand to deal with that, and you will again have to borrow, and you will keep on doing this, and you will keep on digging a bigger and a bigger hole. So even if you have debt, you need to have at least 4 to 8 months of your expenses saved up, and you need to have at least $2,000, $3,000 as your emergency fund. Now, talking about debt, the fifth thing that you need to do is you need to pay off your debt. And I'm talking about the high interest debts of 15, 20, 25% that is making your life a living hell, and that is eating up your financial freedom. These high interest debts are the single biggest factor that is keeping you away from your financial freedom. So you need to start tackling this debt right away. There are two methods of paying off debt, either the snowball method or the avalanche method. According to the snowball method, just pay the debts that have the smallest principal amount regardless of whatever is the interest rate. This way, once you just keep on knocking off the smaller ones, it will give you a psychological boost, so that if you have some big debts, then at the end, after paying all the small debts, you can just focus on that, and this will give you a much greater peace of mind. Or the second method is the avalanche method. It is a much more mathematically sound method where you just keep on paying off the debt with the highest interest first, regardless of what is the principal amount. If you have three debts of 20, 25 and 10%, then you will start with the 25% debt. That is the avalanche method. I have already created a dedicated video on how to become debt free, on how to slowly and steadily start chipping towards your debt and become debt free. You can check out the video from the I button above or the link in the description box below. Now, when all of these things are taken care of, the sixth point is investment fund. And this is where the fun will begin, because you can play with your money, and by playing, I mean playing responsibly, keeping your risk and your goal in mind while investing. Setting up a goal is very important for your investment fund. How quickly you want to make money and how much money you want to make. This will determine that how much risk you will have to take. Because obviously, the greater risks you take, the more money making opportunity you have, and vice versa. The more money you want to make, the more quickly, the more risks you will have to take. So there are plenty of ways you can invest your money. Investing your money is very important, because as it is rightly said, that until you find ways to make money while you sleep, you will have to work till you die. So you need money to make money, and money will make more money. And that will happen through investments. So you need to first gain knowledge about where to invest, what are the risks associated with this, what is the reward potential, how much is my risk capacity, all of these different things. And you need to educate yourself about investing, because until you educate yourself about investing or how money can make money, you will always be stuck living paycheck to paycheck, and that is not how you will achieve your financial freedom. So just educate yourself about investing. I am going to create multiple videos about how to invest, where to invest, $100, $1,000, $10,000, how to do this. I will make multiple videos, but you just need to educate yourself fully before committing your money anywhere. So these are the 6 things that you need to do with your money as soon as you receive your money, so that you can ensure your financial freedom in the long run. This was basically it for today. Likes if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you loved it, and if you want to learn how you can invest your first $1,000 profitably, I have already made a dedicated video on that. Click on the video that is flashing on your screen right now if you want to learn how you need to invest your first $1,000 profitably. I have explained each and everything.